Okay, we're back in Robocraft, and here is what I hope is a fairly unique uh, SMG or Nano, depending on how you want to outfit it. I built. I was experimenting with just electroplates in general and different combinations of them. And although these tier sevens aren't very useful this high in the game, um, I like that the way they fit into this tier nine when it's upside down, and that's the basic structure that I built the craft around. Um, it doesn't have any wheels or skis or anything. It's just slides on the ground. It's got four steering thrusters at the back to make it pivot around. And this rudder actually doesn't do much. It kind of drives the same with or without it, believe it or not. It's just like an extra stabilizing thing to help it kind of stay upright when you hit sweet jumps. So this is, I think, as long as it could be. Um, I don't think there's any room left. I've got that radar poking all the way out there. So however many blocks long that is. And then I was trying like heck to make it, beefy on the inside, but the weight is a real problem. It got slower and slower, and I had to add these tier 10 thrusters in the middle, which took us back to being one block wide. So it's incredibly fragile. I had more success with it as a healer than as an SMG, but they fit in the same spot. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. So I don't even know what you want to call this because thruster sled turned out to mean a different thing than what I mean, but that's what I called these. Anything that slides on the ground that doesn't items, it's a thruster sled. It's a sled because it slides. Anyway, well, whatever. I think some people mean skis when they see that. So if you looked at my other video, the tier 2 arrow that I had, it's the same thing. It just slides on the ground, and they both use the same principle, which is that they'd steer really slowly if they wasn't for their length. You've got like a pendulum effect. So it works better to have the steering at the rear instead of at the front. They're also more protected back there. Because without your steering thrusters, you're dead. So one little add-on I did was, though, it's got, this is kind of strange. So you've got two in the front, too. And they're only tier 6s. And then in the back, I think there's 4 tier 6s. Well, the ones in the front are actually fighting the ones in the back because they kind of, if they're firing at the same time. Yeah, anyway. What's cool is when the ones in the back get blown off, it'll still turn. Because otherwise it wouldn't. I don't have the speedometer on here right now, but anyway, this is about as fast as you're going to go in level 1. Seems to me. It goes a little bit faster with more thrusters or less cubes. And of course, once you start overclocking. But this is one of my favorite things about Robocraft. I mean, there's 100 different movement items. They keep adding them. But you can also just use or abuse or whatever you want to call it, the physics of the game. I'm certain that they never meant for people to drive around just sliding on the ground. In fact, a critique of this might be that there's not enough friction going on here. There's nothing keeping the weight of this off the ground, so it really should just be kicking up a bunch of dirt and getting stuck. If you think about it. Wait, what's the gravity on Mars? Oh, I'll have to look that up. Is it lower or higher? I think it's lower than it is on Earth. Well, anyway. This is a very slippery surface we're on, if we're being honest. But anyway. For now, this is how the physics are, and I'm enjoying it. This thing, I think I'm going to have to throw away just because I need the blocks and the space. But I'm willing to bet nobody else has made anything exactly like this. That's my guess. Here, I'll take some of the electroplates off so you can kind of see what it looks like. In fact, I had to borrow these off of these tier 9s off of the one in my other video because I don't have that many tier 9s. Yeah, so we've got 3 tier 10 thrusters and 4 tier 8s. It's not really enough. More is better, but I was trying to hide all of them and not have any of them exposed. So that the only thing that stuck out was this one like central ridge line on the top. Meh. I tried. And I've got this kind of covered up. Alright. Well, that's my little Tier 10 scooter. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll see you.